What's up, guys? It's Hunter for Weekends on the Water. I'm driving. I got about a 4-hour trip. Woke up early this morning. I'll be there about 10. I got some big news coming. I think it's pretty big. I think it's pretty awesome. Had someone reach out to me. We're gonna go there today. Talk to them. I'll introduce you to them. Do a video on them, and I think it's pretty cool. So I hope you guys like it. The last video, I told you guys January 13th and 14th is the Alva Run. We do the barbecue on Saturday night, hang out the island all day Saturday. Friday, the 13th, we run all the way to Roland Martins. The same, like I said in the last video, it's the same run that we just did. It's one of a lot of people's favorite runs. It's 120 miles round trip, so it's a good ride. You got 2 locks normally, sometimes 3. I've been to where there's only 1 lock. It all depends on the water levels. We always have a lot of food Saturday night. We have way too much left over, so we need you guys' help. Come to eat it, come hang out. Normally, we would average probably 150 boats. So the more the merrier. It's a good time. If you guys can come out, that'd be awesome. Coming over to St. Johns River. We've put in over here at this ramp before. Jason Wolf did a run here. This is sweet. We came across that lake and then go into some tight little creeks over there. Pretty sweet. Nice ride here. Alright, I'm about to pull up to what my big news was. I've been talking with the owner of HydroStream. He wants to sponsor the Viper build. I think that's awesome. We talked on the phone for a while. I think we can help each other out. We're gonna work together on this, and I think we're gonna do like everything I do on this Viper will be sold as a kit. We'll talk with them. You guys will see some of his ideas. He's got some good ideas. He already has a lot of products out there, and he's not nowhere near where he wants to be. He's got a lot more ideas for products, and he seems really cool to work with. And we'll meet with him today and run you guys through it.
Biggest HydroStream logo you've ever seen. So I'm Tiger Summers, and I grew up in Tampa, Florida. And we were around the water, my entire life, and so it was all bass boats. My dad had a Tidecraft with a 200 on it back in the day, and that was a 72-mile-an-hour boat, and that was a big deal back then.
Yeah.
But during those times, like this is age myself. That was the mid '80s. These boats were running around these HydroStreams, and as a kid, the shape of it just always caught my eye, and I just thought, wow, that's such an awesome boat. And of course, we were a family. My mom would never have let my dad buy one, so it was never going to happen.
Yeah.
So fast forward, I went to college in Tennessee and ended up in California for about 20 years, and then my wife and I moved back to South Florida about almost 9 years ago now, and we moved here in Northeast Florida after COVID. Okay. So that's how we got here. And then the HydroStream thing, it just kind of happened for me where, I found the interest in it again and remembered the boats from when I was a kid, and I got really excited about, owning one, because now I'm older, I can go buy one because they're pretty cheap. I'm like, okay, I don't have to convince the wife I got to spend $70,000 on a boat, right? But then I just got the bug, and then it was like, okay, is anybody doing anything with the brand? What's happening? And I looked into it. The trademarks were all abandoned. There was nothing going on with that. And I thought, you know what? I love it so much. I'm going to go spend my money to get the trademarks and get the .com and talk to the gentleman that owned HydroStream.org with the content on it and all that. And that content from .org became the history section in HydroStream.com. So, and then we were obviously making replacement parts, for the brand. And so what we want to do is we want to be like Jegs or like CJ Pony parts or something like that, where we're supplying you guys all of the replacement parts for the boats that you can't get. The windshields, the windshield frames, the rub rail. We're already doing the logo, badges for the side of the boats. And and moving forward from there. So I mean, that's the idea. And obviously, like, you know, we do the apparel and all that stuff. You know? But we're very excited to move it forward.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. The goal is to prevent the brand from dying, and it's to also let younger people experience the thrill of being in one of these boats. I mean, you know, there's a lot of great boats out there, right? And it's true. And everybody's got a different flavor, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. There's no bashing here, but my particular jam is this, and I think that these boats are fantastic. And anybody that I ever take for a ride in this boat, and hopefully this one when I get this done, everybody's smiling, you know, ear to ear.
It's a blast from the past.
This is so awesome! Wow, you know. So
they were honestly before their time when they came out. These boats are 70s, 80s technology, running with the boats that are built today.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing. And then when they're redone, right?
Yeah,
So we can do that. We can run like that. We can run safely.
Yeah.
And that's also part of our reason to do it.
Sweet.
Well, and the beauty of it is you can run down the freeway at 80 miles an hour and it won't come off.
Yeah, no, it's tight.
We also like it because you can load the boat up the night before.
Yep.
And put all your stuff in it, and then put the cover on, and in the morning you just hook up and go.
No, that's a really sharp looking cover there. Fits tight over the rub rails.
We can take it off. It's got these ratchets in there.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Pull that. Yeah, hook back here. Same thing on this side. Loosen it up. Strap system, so it holds it up. So there's no. You're gonna see the old boats that got. This one had it too. It had a thing here that had a bow. It had like a wooden bow.
Oh, okay.
It used to hold the old covers up. So that's replaced with this strap system.
Yeah. No, that thing fits really nice.
So this is the time capsule boat. I know you call Tristan's time capsule boat. They all are in some way.
Yeah.
But this is 1984, and it's the motor it came with in '84. And evidently this boat was sold in Georgia, and the gentleman that had it, he ran it on the weekends, and he put it up in the garage, and he never left it out. That story never left out in the rain.
Yeah.
But it's had the floor and the core and transom redone, but everything else is all original. So the seats, the interior, everything is done. The carpet's obviously been replaced. This is not original, so somebody's changed that.
Yeah.
But,
How long ago did you get it?
About a year ago.
Okay.
I had one that was exactly like this,
Really?
with an XR2 150 on it, and I found this one, and it had already been redone. The other one needed to actually be record and whatnot, and I had the opportunity to get this one and not have to do that work. So
Yeah.
I picked this one up.
Yeah.
I had a bigger motor too, which was great. And you know, I love the boat. And so the idea with this one is it's going to be all original time capsule boat. You know, modern upgrades. It's got a jack plate, and it's got, you know, hydraulic steering. But we got an adapter plate that hooks the original, you know, rod guide wheel to it.
Yeah.
So it still looks original. These are the dash plates that we make, so I replaced those dash plates with the new ones.
Yep.
And we can do those in any color, because I know Hydrostream had several different variations, both gauge patterns and materials. So, and because we CNC cut all that stuff, I can do anything. So if you want, I did an aluminum panel for, I forget the gentleman's name off the top of my head, but he wanted because it had been redone in center steer, he wanted an aluminum plate that went the whole dash.
Yeah.
So
I've seen a few different ones that you've posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we do a lot of that stuff. So, but this one's, you know, gonna stay just the way that it is.
Yeah. Have you pushed it at all? How fast have you had it up to?
85.
Really? Yeah.
85. she's, and I don't, you know, yeah, I don't think this boat needs to go faster than that for me.
Yeah.
The other boat, yeah, will go faster.
Yeah.
But I don't, it's an original, you know, 200,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't want to get into like hurting it and having to redo
Yeah.
it and all that stuff. So, but I think, you know, we've had a lot of fun with it, and my wife loves to sit in the back and hang out.
Yeah.
And the thing that I love about about these boats is not just the boats, it's the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like
I think everybody, that's one of the main things everybody says is the community itself is top notch.
We have met some fantastic people.
Yep.
And it's such a, I mean, I used to ride motorcycles a long time ago, and it's similar to that in that, you know, here's a bunch of random people that have a common interest, but, you know, and this was a long time ago, but my experience with the boating community is way better than that was.
Yeah.
You have a group that, you know, is together because of a common interest, but, you know, what do you need? Like,
Yeah,
you need a water
everybody's
pump,
there to
like,
help each other.
You know, let's drop it lower and, like, you know, whatever, and everybody
Yeah.
hops in and just helps you out if you
Yeah.
have any kind of issue. Like, it's just been a real pleasure to be part
Yeah,
of
it's
that
a big
community.
family. Pretty.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sweet. And you got this one over here, the more modern style.
Yeah.
I rode in this boat. There's some other videos on the channel of this one. Really clean, really good glass work in there.
So this one, like you said, like you've been in this boat. This boat's been profiled on Scream and Fly. You know, Cody Paul did a ton of work on this boat. I got it from him, and this does represent the future. So, you know, all of the work that was done in here, Brian Carhart did all the work to add the extra stringers in here and all the custom work for the tank and everything. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically we're gonna measure all of these pieces in here, and then we're gonna all put that in CAD, and then we're gonna start making a kit for this. So the idea is, if you are doing this work, you know, you ought not to have to try to wing it yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you know, making cardboard templates and you're doing all that stuff. And if you want to do that, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no.
But, you know, and by all means, like,
Just trying to make it easier.
yeah. And if we can offer you a kit that's going to give you this structure, but like, say you want a floor in it instead of having it open, like, well, we
Yep.
can, you know,
Yep.
work that out too, so we can sell that in that configuration. So, you know, but the idea is to provide a super strong, repeatable, templatized,
Yep.
you know, kit that you can rebuild. This is for the V King, right?
Yeah.
So you don't. So there's no confusion about this.
Yeah.
You know, and you know it's going to fit.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing that, you know, I think we can.
And it'll cut a lot of time out of your process
Oh
of
my God.
rebuilding ones.
If you're doing this and you're looking, okay, well, how am I going to do all these things versus, you know, the time it's going to take to
Mm-hmm.
figure all that stuff out, versus, hey, you can buy the kit for, and I don't know what the pricing is yet.
Yeah, no, it's
but,
still all in the
this
works.
is expensive these days.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, and if you want to do it in wood, like, we can cut wood too.
Mm-hmm.
I think wood belongs on trees. But you know, if you want wood, hey, a lot of guys say, hey, you know, that's their preference and it's
Yeah.
fine. Like, that's your choice. No judgment here. But
Yeah.
you know, we'd probably, you know, do whatever you want. But if we could offer that up, and then going from there, from the V King, you know, to the Viper, and on down the path. You know,
Yeah.
Whichever ones that.
Yeah, go through all of them.
Yeah,
And,
whatever is the most popular boat that the community thinks we ought to be doing kits for. Then,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we'll just do that.
yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah, no, she's a sweet ride. I can't wait to. I'm building a 2.5 for her tonight.
Yeah, what powers you on? 2.5?
2.5. It's an FF 2.5 and with a 15-inch mid and it's 40.
I think I rode in it when Cody had it. Had a 2.4 on it. And with the two of us, it was in the mid-90s, I'm pretty sure.
When I bought the boat, Cody took me for a ride. I don't know exactly what motor was on it. It was probably close to
That was the
60.
one that he has on his Laser now
Yeah.
that he ran yesterday. That's pretty stout motor.
We went 103 and this with me in the back seat in the life jacket. So
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Bodie, Cody, I'll buy the boat. But don't kill me first, man. But that's that. Like, the boat was just laser straight.
Yeah.
You know, it was.
Cody's a driver too.
He is a driver, man. No, that's for sure, man. And the boat was just, I wanted it because of the fact that it was completely redone.
Yeah.
And for the business, I wanted to buy a boat that was done like that and done well, and with the best materials and the best, at least some of the best craftsmanship that's out there.
Yeah.
As the template from which that we would be able to build these kits.
Yeah.
So and going that fast in this boat was proof positive to me. Like, okay, I'm making a good investment here.
Yeah.
Because it was rock solid. Like,
Yeah.
Rock solid.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a sweet boat.
Yeah, she's awesome. I think the thing to cover is a little bit about the why. Like, why aren't you building a boat and all this? Because when I announced, hey, this is the new HydroStream people,
Yeah.
there was an interesting reaction. But that said, the reason we're doing this is to start building replacement parts, start selling the kits that we mentioned for redoing the boats, and then beyond that is to start gauging interest in actually doing a refurbishment program ourselves. So instead of you trying to find your local glass guy or whatever, and if you want to do it yourself, that's there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to have it done, I'm interested in getting people's feedback about, hey, would you be interested in a refurbishment program where you bring us your boat, and then we'll have the work done, and when you get it back, we'll have all of our own, OEM parts on it, the rub rails,
Yeah.
new windshield, all the logos, all the parts that we sell individually. We would put that as a package together, and do the corner floor, transom, all that work, and then have a certified refurbished
Yeah.
HydroStream from HydroStream.
Yeah.
And I think there's value there, but I'd like to know what the community thinks about that. Because I think if it were me and I said, hey, I can take my boat back to HydroStream and they'll do all that stuff and we'll warranty it, which you don't always get when you get the work
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
I think there'd be value there, but I'm only one person. So
Yeah.
I'd like to know what people think. So
Yeah.
that's the idea. And if we don't do that part, that's okay. But
Mm-hmm.
if we do, and there's interest there, and there's continued interest in perhaps making boats again,
Yeah.
then I'm all for that. And the Venom guys are out there. They were at Lake Butler, and that boat's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
So, I think they think there's a market here. It's just, is there?
Yeah.
So, for us, it's steps forward that make sense without trying to take a big gamble, because especially the economy the way that it is right now, the first thing that goes is boats, RVs, and airplanes.
Yeah, all the toys.
Right? So, we got to be smart about where we spend our money,
Yeah.
and make sure that we can still accomplish the mission, which is to provide the parts, to
Yeah.
keep the boats on the water, to have everybody have that experience.
Just
So-
take it one step at a time and react on your feedback and
which is why I'm glad you're here, because we actually can tell the story.
Yeah.
And ask the question, like, what do you want to see from us?
Yeah.
First of all, who are we? Who am I?
Yeah.
And then, like, what are you doing? And what can you do for us? And my question to the community is, what do you guys need?
exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, I
I
hear
know
things
you-
like swim steps and stuff like that. We can do all that.
Yeah.
So, and then also, we do little wedges for, like, Charlie Palvaroma,
Yeah.
just one out there at Lake Butler. I
On
did
the
some
bottom.
wedges for his Viper to keep the hop down.
Yeah.
And then, and it's great because, boat gets up out of the water, so are the wedges.
Yeah.
But it solves
Yeah.
that problem.
Up top, it's not affecting you, but
No.
yeah.
So we can do a lot of different things. It's like, okay, well, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. It's, hey, what do people need?
Yeah.
And then let us know, and then, give me a call and we'll talk about it. And, that's what
Yeah.
Charlie did. He's like, hey, I think I need some wedges for the thing hops around. Like, yeah, they do, don't they? Okay. And so, and we did a couple different iterations of that, and now he seems pretty happy with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I seen him there at Butler. He was telling me about it. Ran good. Ran really good.
It was smoking.
Yeah. And me and you talked about it. You're wanting to do the rub rail. You're already in the process with that of the
Yeah.
factory style rub rail.
I got an extruder online that will do the rub rail, the top windshield frame, and the bottom windshield frame. and I'll be completely transparent with you and everybody else. You know, if it was easy, everybody'd do it.
Yeah.
This is hard. The extrusion isn't hard. Making this big compound curve is not easy.
Yeah.
And if they did it in the 70s and 80s, we can certainly do it today.
Yep.
It's just who can do it. And
Yeah.
then beyond that is, okay, well, if you can do it, can you ship it? And look at the size
Yeah,
of this thing,
it's
right?
a big item to ship.
Right? And so even if you ship it, I think, you know, the chances of it arriving intact without being totally destroyed maybe might be, you know, marginal. So, you know, we're working through different ideas about, well, what if we cut it, we make it in 3 sections? Like, and we cut,
I think that's a good idea.
we cut here and we cut there, and then when you get it, so we could ship it in a regular cardboard box.
Yep.
Right?
Like
And when you
shipping a
get
fishing
it,
rod or something.
Yeah, and we'd have a little piece of metal in between with some screw holes, and we just have little screw holes on the inside of it, or you can rivet it or whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that way we could actually ship it.
Yeah.
So we're working through logistics like that. But the bending part is, I mean, I've talked to a lot of people, and if anybody out there wants to give me a ring and let me know,
Yeah, join in and
I'm
help
more
out.
than happy to have a conversation, because unless we're doing 500,000 of them,
Yeah.
nobody really wants to play ball, right?
Yeah.
And we're certainly not going to have that kind of volume.
Yeah.
So we got to. There's a solution out there. You just have to find. So yeah, so these are the dash panels for the V-King, and then obviously the logos that we make. And this is the original. This one's actually in pretty good shape considering.
Yeah.
And this is the new reproduction one that we do, and that's ABS.
That was cut out on that machine, or?
Yep. So and then so they, when you buy them, you get a set too. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
packaged like that.
And all this was cut out on that machine, right?
Yeah. So we do. These are, it's a laminate, right? So we do all the cutting on the machine, and then we laser etch that logo
Okay.
in there.
Yeah. Those are sharp looking.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Window stickers for back of your truck.
Yeah. That's sweet.
And then there's all the apparel stuff, which is all
Yeah.
drop ship
On the
stuff.
website, and I'll put a link in the description and all that, and so
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man. That'd be great.
sweet.
It's not for
Yeah, this is the stuff we all look for when we're driving through small towns.
Yeah, no,
look behind houses, see who has one hiding somewhere.
Like, is there a tree
Yeah.
growing out of it, or
Yep.
how bad is it, right?
Yeah, you drive down the road, always looking behind. I found an HST that way.
Did you? Oh.
Yeah. All right, I just left Tiger's place, the HydroStream compound. I'm super excited to work with him. Super cool guy. He has a lot of information on these boats. If you haven't been on his website, it's hydrostream.com. I'm going to put a link in the description. He's got parts on there for sale, a bunch of info on the boats, on the history of the boats. It's a really well laid out website. He's got a lot of apparel, a lot of parts and pieces, and even tooling for the boats to help restore them. And he's going to have a lot more in the future. I'm excited to be working with him on it. I'm excited not only for my boat, but for what he's doing for the HydroStream community. I think it's will be a big game changer, like we talked about, and like he said in some of his videos, that it's like when you're building a classic car, you can just go buy replacement parts for certain things, and for these HydroStreams, there's nothing like that. So he wants to be that company, and to have the HydroStream name on it is pretty huge. I think it's awesome what he's doing for us. His products, everything I've seen there is top notch. It's good stuff. It's going to make everything a lot easier for us that are want the old classic look, and like he said, he's doing a more modern style stuff, because these boats are 70s, 80s technology. Like we talked about already, these boats are still hanging with the boats that are built today. They're fast, they handle well, they're sharp looking. It's just they're sweet boats. But thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. The subscribers is huge. The views. Thank you guys for watching them. It means a lot to me. Keeps me going. Leave some comments. I know Tiger asked for some advice on there on certain things. Tell us what you think of the idea. All feedback is appreciated. That doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you guys for watching. Click on the link. Check out his website. Like I said, it's really well laid out. But that's it for this one. Thank you guys. See ya.